Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm back. We're streaming a little earlier today on a Thursday. We're gonna do a early, early weekday stream. Here, we're gonna start a little bit early because we got a lot of work to do in the Dungeon of Sloth in Shin Megami Tensei. If a lot of school children have been slothing, and because of that, we need to do a lot of grinding to make up for their sloth. Right, Asian Ways, hello. The early flip gets the worm. He does. There's the worm, and here's the flip. Got it. Just as true as today as it was back then in the times of worms. You know, am I right? Good start to the stream, I would say. All right, let's get going. This is what happens when the stream gets going early. It gets off to a good start. How are you doing, Asian Waste? Good to see you here today on a Thursday afternoon. Hopefully you are at work, ignoring your job and watching me. I'm not going to do too much preamble. Let's just get into it because we actually really have a lot of grinding to do. That's why I kind of want to get this game done this week. So I'm kind of trying to, and also it's super addictive. So I've been streaming this game a little bit more hardcore. It almost reminds me of the Elden Ring days when I would stream like 10 hours a day. Well, I haven't got that quite crazy yet, but there it is, Flip. The best opening to a stream you will have, and no one dare to see it. Hey, just clip it, and then everybody can see it, and then we'll post it. We'll just keep reposting it over and over again. We'll make them all see it. You are all going to be right now. This is going to be clipped, and you're going to be forced to watch it. You're probably watching it right now because somebody pasted it, and they were like, "Hey, check out this clip," and you're checking it out, and it's just me saying this shit right now, and you're like, "This is a great clip," probably because, like, look what a cool clip this is. I'm explaining to you how good the clip is, which can only mean that it's really good. Is the clip over yet? I don't even know. Is it still going? Wait, we need a big ending. Big finish. Oh, how can you not clip that? You gotta be, I know you're rushing to clip that right now. I am Flip, the master of content, you know? Yeah, good. I feel sorry for all those people. Skittles, Mr. Leo. Well, that's what happens. You gotta, I don't care if you're working or driving, you gotta keep the Flipsider's Twitch stream up on your desktop or laptop computer. All times, you gotta have it, the volume turned up, and you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready, man. All right, so we're gonna try a little something. We're gonna just try walking back and forth into school until it's a full moon. Then we'll go right back to that. Was it new moon or full moon? Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll try walking back and I guess, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think I started it full moon. They said a full moon rotation. There could be, I think I don't know. I mean, I don't fully know, but, oh, here we go. Early flips, early birds and early worms and early flips. We got a good clip already. Look at this. Got it. Just as true as today as it was back then in the times of worms. There's the worm, and here's the flip. Got it. Just as true as today as it was back then in the times of worms. That's a good clip. That's a good clip. Oh, I still have this one up on my desktop. Let's watch it again. It goes, wow, wow, wow. I still got it. Good content. Right, so, yeah, I don't know. I guess we could actually head back. We could start heading back now. I mean, I don't know, like, precisely. I think we're gonna try to get back. Well, after the full moon, I think. So let's. Or shoot, dude. I mean, maybe. Oh, okay. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. Hold on a second. Forget that. We need to see how much we can get them to work. I also wouldn't mind just charging around in circles. Because we were getting a ton of magnetite, a ton of experience points, and the demons are not that hard. I wouldn't mind that. So So we could, but let's just charge around for another full moon rotation. And let's see if we get them to go to advance 1 or maybe even 2 possibly spaces in that mine. So in case you don't know, which Asian Waste may not know because I don't know if he was here for the last stream, but the Dungeon of Sloth, which is the 3rd dungeon in this game, the kids from the school have all been kidnapped and they're being forced to work in the mines, but they work very slow. In order to fully progress the dungeon, I need them to dig out the tunnels in the mines. But it takes them a full rotation of the moons to dig 1 square. And I think that we may need them to dig 7 squares. With that being the case, we probably should, I don't know. Let's just walk back and forth here for like a couple. Oh, look, I forgot the time. Asian Waste, you didn't remind me about the timer. Asian Waste, you did not remind me about the timer. And you know who I'm going to have to blame for that, don't you, Asian Waste? That's right. Skittles. Anyway, I'm going to charge back and let's just go back and forth a little bit. Oh, you got 2 jobs. Are you at your job right now? Are you slumming it? Are you barely working? Or working bare? How's that expression go? Hey, you barely working or working bare? That could, by the way, mean working naked, or it could mean working like the bear, the animal. I'm not sure which. I guess that it could have, it's a triple meaning. It's a triple meaning. That's a brilliant saying that I just invented. All kinds of good content in the stream today, huh? As we charge back and forth in the school. Both column A and column B. And I would like to believe a little of column C as well. Good. Keep it up. Keep it up, Asian Waste. You're doing a great job. Flipsider gives you a commendation. 1 thumb up. The other thumb may be up, but it's off screen. You'll just have to wonder about that. All right. We're almost back down to new. I don't know how long have I been going? It's just been, I don't know. So the thing about this, I actually don't know if this is going to work. I'm wondering if you have to actually be in the mine. But why would that? What sense would that make? Surely making time pass anywhere should be the same thing, right? You never know, though. So I don't want to get too out of control. And I don't mind grinding in the mine either, because it was pretty good grinding. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it get back to full moon and then head back to that mine. Well, we don't need, well, actually, we can let some time pass on the way. So actually, let's let it go up to 6-8 right now, and now let's start heading back. So it should be full moon by the time we get back, and that we'll see whether that's 1 room that's been dug out or 2 rooms that's been dug out. That should be interesting to see. The thing is, I don't remember exactly what the time was when I started because that was yesterday night. Dungeon of Sloth, man, very slothy. Alright, I'm going to need to summon my demons. Let's see, is there anything else I needed? Do I need to go to the shop? I don't think so. Well, we can go ahead and summon our demons now. We're going to need demons in here. Let's go with Vesta. Apsaris. Dwarf is okay. He's alright. Let's go with Aussie, Pete, and Silk, though, for their magic. If we're going to be going back and forth and doing a lot of grinding, the enemies with... I mean, having the demons with the multiple enemy spells, that's going to be the way to go, because we can keep refilling our MP at the fountain. So we can... This is probably the best team to be annihilating legions of demons very quickly. Now, yesterday we learned an important thing. Part of the reason why You know what? I've been complaining about how difficult it is to recruit demons in this game. Well, part of the reason why is apparently you cannot recruit dark demons. And about half the goddamn demons in the game are dark. About half of them are dark. So and the game, unlike other SMT and Persona games, where if you can't recruit a demon, like you can't really talk to it, or you can't talk to it much, it's obvious. This game, like it even not only can you talk to dark demons, but you can ask them to join you. Because of that, I've been assuming that, well, you must be able to recruit them if you can ask them to join you. But no. I mean, and the proof is the fact that I've been running around this dungeon for hours, asking every demon to join me, and not a single one has joined. Coincidentally, I clicked on the guy who made every demon dark. None of them were able to join from the beginning. Because they're dark demons. Oh shit, I forgot to... My guys need to be healed. Oh, I should have healed at the nurse. I'm surprised I didn't heal at the nurse. Yeah, I should have healed at the nurse. I wonder why they're not fully regenerated with their magic. But, it doesn't matter. The fountain's right here. It's fine. Now, also, another thing I was wondering. So we talked to that guy that makes all the demons here dark. It seems like if you leave and come back, it doesn't reset. It seems like it's going to be that way for the rest of the game, from what I can tell. So we're never going to be able to recruit any demons in here. Oh, well. Too bad. Oh, man. The music's really good in this dungeon, though. Alright. So the plan is, I wanted to do some big streaming today. Jesus on Wheels, welcome back. Where is WD? Wait, what is WD? WD 40? Weird Dreams? Oh, you want to see Weird Dreams? I was going to finish this game and I was going to go back to it. Weird Dreams is a game that is... it's very difficult. You know, I wouldn't mind just marathoning it until we eventually just marathon grinding it. But a lot of people seem to not really enjoy watching Weird Dreams. Go figure. Don't ask me why. But for some reason, people do not like to watch Weird Dreams. For that reason, we're kind of doing it piecemeal. You know, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm taking a break from it to play this game. We're gonna finish this. After I finish this, we're gonna go back and we're gonna have another try at it, and then hopefully we'll beat it. I'll practice off stream as well. If we can't, then maybe I'll take another break from it. We're not gonna like put too much time into Weird Dreams at one time. In other words, but we will beat it. Don't worry. Don't worry. In the meantime, please enjoy this Super Nintendo classic, somewhat obscure, hardcore role-playing game here. Hey, Barkeep, I did sleep. I went to bed pretty late last night, then I got up, and I actually did some things. But yeah, thank you, Jesus on Wheels. Please enjoy the... don't worry, I'll beat it. I'll be a Weird Dreams. Hey, you should be thankful for that. How many other streamers do you have to watch that even will play Weird Dreams for more than 5 minutes? None. Nobody will do that. Much less somebody who's gonna, like, try to beat it. There's no evidence of anybody ever beating Weird Dreams in the history of all mankind, as far as I can tell. Whoops. Oh, I did not mean to use all that MP, but that's okay. We can just go, or we'll get it right back. Half of these demons you don't even need MP for. You can just auto them, and it's faster and not that much less safe. Fine. It's better just to auto a lot of these groups. You know, Barkeep, I might be a little addicted to this game. You know? I find myself wanting to play it longer and longer periods of time. Can you believe it? Turns out this game is kind of good. And also, I wanted to get an early jump on this streaming this game today because We're probably gonna have to grind this Dungeon of Sloth a few more hours. I wanted to try to get it done before the evening stream so that we could then start right off into the 4th dungeon. It would be nice. And then we'll see how much longer it takes. Oh, I forgot what I was doing. Wait a second. I need to go check the mine. Before I do that, I should visit the fountain lady. Alright, I'll use some magic on these guys. Mazan is good. Guns blazing. Burn them. 160 damage. Whoa. You know, for the 20 hours I've been playing this game, nobody, well, eventually somebody said something, but for a really long time, nobody was telling me anything. No, I have been trying to contact all these dark demons over and over and over again for hours, and nobody had said anything about the fact that it was completely futile and that there, I mean, probably most of you didn't even know. But what I want to say is, good job. Good job allowing me to just suffer, trying to, like, relentlessly play the game wrong. Very good job. A barkeep knew. You might have been the one that said something. I don't remember. Somebody did eventually say something. Well, they didn't spell it. They just were like, maybe you should, they were like, do you remember what the rules were again or something? I think it might have been, was it Red Mages? I don't recall, but anyway. Somebody said something that gave me pause for thought. And I remember them saying about, like, how there were certain demons you couldn't contact, but I assumed it was just, like, demons we hadn't met yet. I was assuming that if you couldn't contact them, they wouldn't let you try to ask them to be in your party, but they do in this game. It's, like, this game is quite malicious in that way. Yes, I would like to heal all. Which is fine. That's fine. It's just it's a learning curve. This is definitely one of the more obtuse when it comes to demon contact. I haven't played all the SMT games, but this has got to be one of the most obtuse. Oh, we should probably put Sylph in front, since Sylph has a lot more HP, don't they? Yeah. Sylph should go in front. Whoops. You should go there. Yeah. This setup is better. Alright, now I wandered around in the school a whole bunch. Oh, good. You take the credit for it, Barkeep. Well, you know, it is good. Like, I appreciate people keeping their mouths shut and allowing me to suffer, because that is good that's good viewer etiquette. But bringing up, I mean, then again, after doing it for hours, saying something is really not too out of line either. We're not going to be too strict about spoilers. But I would like you to remember to allow me to suffer. And you know, whenever you get that, you know, if you get who's that guy? That looks familiar. Oh, Mizanma. Apsaris only has Mazan, but Sylph has Mizanma. I know it can be frustrating sometimes when the streamer is wasting tons of time, not making any progress, but that's... Sometimes it makes you, like, really... Some people are like, oh, I can't stand it when they're wasting so much time. I think that the worst scenario... This is why, as a streamer, I think what you want to... What? Did somebody just die? Hold on, I just lost my train of thought. What? Did somebody just get killed? Oh no, Aussie Pete just got ejected from my party, huh? Oh, I didn't know they had that ability. Okay. Alright, it's fine. Alright, give me a second to regain my train of thought here. Those guns aren't doing as much damage as I would like them to anymore. We have over 20,000 magnetite now. I feel like that's got to be very good for the rest of the game. And 30,000 Maka? That's insane. So I don't exactly mind all the grinding this dungeon's putting us through, but... Alright, let's see. I wandered around a ton in the school. Let's see how much farther they've dug out these tunnels, alright? Try to get rid of these guys. These guys are tougher. This is going to call for a Maragion. Just one spell ought to be enough. Must. Oh, she's doing less damage because she's poisoned. Didn't realize she was poisoned. That's why. That's why. These guys still have that much life in them? What the heck? Probably cure the poison. I hope she still has the mapper spell, Yumi. I think she should. But she might have lost the spell when she switched Guardians. Better. Hopefully that's the case, better make sure. Amazon is not doing very much damage. Heck, man. Need Mazanma, I guess. All Apsaris has is Mazan, though. That's all she can do from back there. These guys are a little bit tough, these ghoulettes. Try the Zanma. Damage. Man, I just need Miragian against them. I should probably just cast it. Only she could have cast it first. Out of ammunition. They should have cast it mushroom. I should always... thought I did cast that at the beginning of the battle. Alright, this auto battle. We should die soon, right? Did a lot of damage to us, too. Oh, well. Oh, I'll level up, though. That's good. Did she? Oh, she did lose Mapper. She did lose the spell Mapper, I think. Oh, no. She lost it. I guess I haven't had it this whole time. And no, did somebody else? Oh, man, that sucks. She did lose the spell Mapper. I lost my Mapper. Ugh. Ugh. Can't be helped. How much does Dairahan 20? That's the equivalent of casting Dia 5 times. But it looks like we only needed 4 of those for her then. Alright, finally, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so... how is that? What? He didn't dig... He didn't make any progress. How? This guy didn't make any progress. What is that? I definitely have been walking around for 1 full moon cycle. Maybe the school doesn't count. Walking around the school must not count, I guess. Something like that. Oh, that's gotta be the case. That must not count. Unbelievable! Sucks. Apparently all these guys are dark demons, including those like flying guys. I thought that they, like, I would have thought those are the type of demons you would be able to contact. It's pretty weird how you're so limited in which demons you can contact in this game. Was SMT2 like that? I don't remember SMT1 being like that, but it has been a long time. I can't believe they didn't dig out more. Let's check on these tunnels again. Still only 2 rooms? That must be the case in all of them. Although I'm a little bit curious if like some of them dig at faster rates than others, but it doesn't matter that much. Definitely gotta use some Aragions on these guys. And Mazanma as well. These are all the spells. Well, let's have to charge around on the floor above this one for a long period of time. While we wait for the students to dig, what else can we do? dodged. Ooh, we got an Onyx though. We got an Onyx, that's good. It's very good to be getting gems, because the more gems I get, the more free demons I can get. So that's good. Oh, I forgot I should be using the auto heal. There is that one path there that... Well, there's a path that has 3, and there's a path that has 4. Maybe I should check those paths again. But... then again, maybe I should just go ahead and do one more charging back and forth thing. Let's run around back and forth for another moon cycle before we check anything else, I guess. We can always use more grinding. Alright, grinding time. It's a little bit easier to auto battle up here on this floor as well. Just keep collecting massive amounts of magnetite. It's good for us. You don't meet the ghoulettes up here on this floor. Or the more dangerous groups of enemies. Maca. Healing at the fountain is no problem when I have this much maca. Relatively inexpensive. Alright. Grind time. This is actual, pure meaning of the word grind. That is charging back and forth in a circle or in a straight line. This is the true meaning of grind. Not just like using the word grind like, oh, there's a lot of encounters, I'm grinding through them. While I play through the game normally trying to make progress. That's not grinding. If you're progressing in the game, you're just not grinding, period. That's not true grinding. This is true grinding. I'm a true grinder. I demand credit. Oh, these guys, they kind of beg for me to use Moragian. I use the spells on these guys. $800 magnetite? Oh. Good old Slosh Dungeon. Slosh Dungeon, that's right. I'm sloshing. Oh, the music is great. For sure. I mean, it's not such a bad thing to, like, have to grind, though. Because, you know, we're benefiting from all the grinding. About now, if I go, all right, it's about to be full moon again. Will they have increased their digging now? More things to kill. Alright, let's head back down. Full moon now. Maybe now they will have moved? Man, it sucks that I lost my mapper spell, though. Didn't realize that last night. Sucks. I'm happy with the new Guardians I got, but still. May as well just use Mirage Annie too. Does good damage. Gotta like that. Another Onyx! Gotta like that! Okay, auto heal, let's try it. I think that just used a Meteorama. Well, that's fine. That's 2 Onyxes that I got so far. Being in here. And that's a good deal. Okay. So, He's now dug out 3 rooms. I think they did advance by 1 now, as of this full moon. I want to see what's going on here with these that was 4 rooms deep. What was the deal with that? Get out of here, Bicorn. Why was this path 4 rooms deep before? This guy must dig out at twice the speed, I guess. We dig and dig, but the rock just goes on forever. That can't be twice the speed. He's only at 5. Wait, what? He's still only at 4 rooms. Is he stuck? Maybe he's stuck. What's up with that? Weird. What about this? There was a girl here. Alright, she's gotten to 2. She must be digging slower. She's gotten to 2 rooms. Those paths are dug out. And then that guy there, he was more diligent. He was at 3. I don't think he'd be at more than 4. Maybe he was going twice the speed or something. I mean, we kind of would want to check on him. It's not going to be too much trouble, but of course it is. To auto these guys. He's going to auto them, man. Oh, jeez. Hurry up and die. They're doing some damage. Whatever, it's still fast. Oh, she's asleep. Patra. Now I really wish I hadn't sold those mapper sphere. Like, I had those mapper sphere items. I think I could buy more. And I sold them thinking that I would have no need for them with the mapper spell being so cheap. I didn't realize you could just lose the mapper spell like that. Whoops. Whoops. Hopefully you can buy those. Okay, this guy, he just digs without saying a word. I guess he digs a little faster than the others, but still, he's only 1 room ahead of them. He's at 4. Check this guy here. The rocks are really tough. Just a single step takes at least 1 full rotation of the moon. At least 1 full rotation of the moon, huh? He hates it. Well, can't be helped. Those up there are probably at 3, I would imagine. This guy's still at 2. I mean, obviously he doesn't like digging. Well, let's just go upstairs and grind more now. It's a full moon now. Maybe we should try to do like 2 full rotations of the full moon to see if they seem to get twice the progress. Like, I don't know. In theory, that should get them to move 2 spaces, right? Try new things. Well, I'm just doing what anybody would, trying to understand the game mechanics to the best of my ability, so that we can progress through this slothy dungeon. Even if we waste some time, or don't, you know, do things optimally or whatever, hey, we're still grinding anyway. It's not such a bad thing. I'm not too overly worried about that. Because the grinding is still good here. Quite frankly. Like, we're at level 25 now. We've got so much magnetite and Maka. It just seems insane. Wow, my attention span, I need a guy. I know. It's a bit of a bummer to watch people like that, isn't it? I mean, you know, I suppose I've done that before. Well, I don't, not because of my attention span. I mean, I've played some pretty obtuse and pretty dense and pretty obtuse, twisted, weird games. And there are times when even I need to resort to a guide. Especially, when you're like doing like a thing where you're trying to play every single NES and Famicom game. But we don't. We try to resist That kind of, oh, level up again. See, look how good this progress is. Wait, no, let's just get another point of strength. I think she needs more strength. I'm thinking speed, like, she's not like, all she really does is attack, so she doesn't need the speed that much. Much more important for Yumi to have the speed. But also, I think, like, it seems as though the spell limit that she has is also pretty important. So we really, maybe you just want to be putting all her points into magic from now on. Like, it seems like no matter how much her spell limit is, it seems like it's going to just keep getting more and more filled up. And she loses spells if she doesn't have a big enough spell limit. It's a problem. It's a big problem. But I don't know if there's an upper limit. You don't know what the upper limit is. I do know exactly what you mean. People like that can be a bummer to watch sometimes. It's like, you know, you gotta have some patience. Or rather, it can be very annoying. Oh, that's good. That leads back into what I was trying to talk about before. Like, how... You know, on the one hand, you know, you really shouldn't backseat. You should just let people play blind. But from this perspective of the streamer, the streamer also needs to keep in mind what behavior is annoying to the people watching, I think. You know? Like, the thing that is the perfect storm of really aggravating your viewers and making them want to backseat you is when you do two things. One, you don't understand what you're doing and you like end up doing the wrong thing, which is going to happen always. That's always going to happen. You know, you're bound to misunderstand things and play suboptimally. But two, to complain about the game, you got to be careful to not be too complaining. Especially about shit where it very well could be that, like, you know, something about a game is frustrating you, let's say, and it could be a case of, is it the game's fault, or is it your fault for not understanding, you know? Sometimes it's hard to tell, because if you're playing a game blind, you may not fully understand that. But the type of person, the type of streamer that doesn't pay a lot of attention to the game, and at the same time is prone to complain about and blame the game for things, I think it can be incredibly annoying for people to watch, and that's the kind of thing exactly that makes people want to backseat. So sometimes, you know, and it's not really an excuse. You shouldn't backseat. You should not backseat no matter what. But you got to keep in mind, even if those people decide to be respectful and to not give in to the urge to give hints, doesn't mean they're going to stick around. You know? That doesn't mean they're going to stick around for your annoying stream. So, I think it behooves you a little bit to try not to be too irritating. To be conscious of things that are very irritating to people watching streamers. Nobody's perfect. It's hard to, you know... Everything you do is going to annoy somebody, but, like, stuff like that is just it's just obvious you should have some restraint. If you're going to be, like, the critical type who's going to complain about the game, then you better damn well understand, be good at games and understand what you're talking about. Or, if you're going to, you know, be the type who is kind of oblivious and doesn't really understand what's going on, then you need to be less complaining. It's like you gotta give up in one of those areas, I think. Well, you gotta be conscious of that. There's the push and pull there you gotta be conscious of. Or you could just be an annoying streamer and annoy people. But then, you know, if you seem to have a problem with people coming in and backseating you all the time, be aware of why that might be. You know, some people just have no awareness. Streaming is hard. Also, you know, you gotta keep in mind that streaming is very difficult, and there's also, you have to balance, like, playing the game with, you know, interacting with the chat, and that's very difficult to do. So it's a high stress activity, and it's hard to do it well. And not many people are just not going to do it well. And to a certain extent, you have to just expect, you have to just be aware of that as well. Acuity. Well, it comes with experience. There definitely is like sort of this like gamer sense that you have. There's like a general kind of gamer sense, and there's like a specific sense. Like if you play a lot of RPGs, you're going to start to like have a sense. Now every game is unique, and there's always going to be games that betray your expectations. But you're going to start to have a sense for like how things are. You're going to be better at figuring stuff out. That's just bound to happen. And that comes with experience, and you don't have to have that. You know, some people might develop it more easily than others. Usually that just comes down to, like, what are your favorite things, though? Like, if you really like RPGs, you're probably going to play a lot of RPGs. If you play a lot of RPGs, you're going to know about RPGs. That just comes naturally. That's why people tend to know about the things they like. You get a gamer sense, but usually just leads to how to cheese AI. Well, that's all part of it. That's just one facet of it. For sure. Cheesing AI. Cheesing, yeah, that's like a whole branch of gamer sense. It's like AI, knowledge of AI. I don't think I have very good knowledge of AI generally. AI is something, I mean, I don't play a lot of games where like that's a big issue for the most part. Although I guess if you use the term AI broadly, it can mean a lot of different things. So to a certain extent, it could mean just simple things like behavior patterns of the enemies in this game. A lot of things AI could mean. Dark Souls. Oh, sure. Well, the AI, the quote AI, and you know, people use the term AI very broadly. A lot of times, the term AI is being used synonymously with just monster behavior in general. So, like, I mean, the enemies in Dark Souls, they basically don't have AI. They basically just have very simple behavior patterns for the most part. It's why in Souls games they had to design it so that enemies can attack through walls. Because otherwise it'd be way too... Otherwise it'd be way too easy to... Like, that is to say, you can't use walls to block their attacks too easily. But yet the walls block your attacks. It's like unfair in that way. But if they didn't do it that way, it'd be way too easy to cheese them. I mean, it's still pretty easy to cheese enemies, but that would make it like way too easy. So that's why that's the thing that people complain about. But like, it actually has to be that way. But that's like, the reason it is that way is because they don't really have AI. They just path. They do what it. You know, there's pathing. There's still pathing to think about. Pathing is an aspect that you can attribute to AI, although. I mean, it is. I guess it is an aspect of AI, but it's one aspect of it. And there's all sorts of ways you can... Well, there can be... That's something that often doesn't really matter, but there... Like, even if you don't think about it in terms of... Even if you don't think deeply about it, like, if you notice that an enemy is not unable to reach you for some reason, it's something you can always take advantage of. It's not something you really need to think that deeply about. Like, oh, they can't seem to get up here. I know what to do. You don't need to be an expert to figure that out, right? But to notice these little things, or like, be like, oh, I wonder if they can test things like that out is something that is something you can try. Wow, this guy is a jerk. Oh, let's use some of Yumi's magic here. Miragian. I think this calls for another Miragian. Miragian? Whatever it is. Probably Miragian. Like... Agileo. Agian. Maragian. Agileo. I don't know how the pronunciation is of this Yeah, it's very loose. I mean, basically AI broadly just means like behavior of monsters. Behavior of like enemies or entities in games just in general. Just a word that's used to, it's shorthand for behavior a lot of times the way it's used. What? There's still what is that? What is that green? Bow cheese. Oh yeah, there's that. Well, that's also taking advantage of. Oh, good. That green wore off though. That's just taking. That's still taking it. That's a subset of taking advantage of their pathing, right? Yeah. That all comes back to like noticing limitations in their pathing and abusing it. Which is like, that's a big thing with all the Souls. Like any game where you have enemies that are difficult and with like complicated 3D geography, that's something that, I mean, part of the reason why that's a big thing in Souls games, I think mainly has to do with the fact that Souls games, just to their credit, have some of the like the most intricate and interesting like 3D level design, like geometry of the levels. Whereas like a lot of games have very simplistic level design if you sort of think about it for a second, and they don't, and because of that, like, or they're just not that difficult in the first place, or both. So because of that, thoughts like that don't even enter into it, because like no need for stuff like that. But in Souls games, you see a lot more of that. That's a much bigger thing in Souls games, right? Learning to abuse level design. Basically the geometry of level design and pathing. We got some pretty good grinding here. Sekiro is such an amazing game. I gotta go back and replay Sekiro, because there were some bosses I never fought when I played through it the first time. And it's such a good game, like, I owe it a replay. But I feel the same way about Elden Ring as well. Bloodborne I've already played through, like, I think 3 times. Though only once on stream. So, like, I don't quite feel... Bloodborne is an amazing game, I wouldn't mind replaying it at all. But I don't quite feel the compulsion to replay Bloodborne as soon. Demon Souls I played semi-recently on stream, well, a couple years ago. Demon Souls is so amazing I would replay it again and enjoy it just as much, like, right now, but, like, I just don't need to at the moment. But Sekiro is really due for a replay. Dark Souls 3, I'm due for a replay on that one. I've only played it the one time, and I still haven't done the DLC. That's one where I never went back, and I only played through it the one time. Like, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro. Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro are the two that I need to go back and, like, replay the most. Although both of those I did stream, so it would be, like... Those games would be the only ones that I would have replayed on stream. But still, like, I'm kind of due on both of those. Dark Souls 3 I streamed, like, it seems like a long time ago now. So, like, probably a lot of you don't even remember that. Or you weren't even here for that. Dark Souls 3? Dark Souls 1 I went back and I replayed Dark Souls 1 on stream. Dark Souls 2 I played, like, a long time ago, I played some, but I never did a full playthrough of Dark Souls 2 on stream. Dark Souls 3 I did a full playthrough, I did my full playthrough on stream back when it first came out, whenever that was, 2015, 2016, something like that. It was before I had a lot of the regulars here. Demon Souls, I first played long before I even started streaming, probably in like 2013. But I went back and replayed that game a couple of years ago. So we're good on that one. And then that leaves Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne. Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Bloodborne, I've all done my playthroughs. The ones that I streamed full playthroughs of, the only ones I haven't streamed full playthroughs of, I should say, is just Dark Souls 2. And that's it. All the other Souls games I've done, and like FromSoft Souls-like games, and I'm including Sekiro in that, I've done full playthroughs on stream. So I guess, considering that, I probably should. The thing with Dark Souls 2, though, is even though I never did a full stream playthrough of that, for some reason, I've ended up playing that game so many times because of, like, Scholar of the First Sin, and I ended up playing the PC version. I don't know how I ended up playing that one, like, much more than Dark Souls 3. I kind of enjoy Dark Souls 3 more. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know. Actually, Dark Souls 2 is a really cool game. But still, I don't know how I played it so much and yet never done a full stream playthrough. It's just really weird. But even though I've never done a full stream playthrough of Dark Souls 2, I don't quite feel the need to go back and do that. It either has to be Dark Souls 3 or Sekiro for a replay, but that probably won't be any time. That's not going to be in the near future. What's going to be in the near future is Armored Core 6, because that I have yet to play at all. Armored Core 6 is the next. That's going to be soon. Yeah, and then beyond that, I don't know. I got so many games to play, I don't know. I got other new games I should probably play first. They're just sitting here that I bought. I love Souls games. I'd love to. I would be happy to replay many of them. But I gotta balance what I play, though. Well, not, and I don't mean in terms of like what people want, but in terms of like what I feel is important. Because there's just so much stuff that I want to play. But I think that it's getting to be the time when maybe a replay of Dark Souls 3 is feeling like something I'd want to do, though. Who knows? Maybe that could happen by the end of the year. I guess there's other Souls-like games I wouldn't mind trying. I played a bunch of those a while back. I never played that Mortal Shell game. You know, like, I don't know, it doesn't look that good, but then again, it probably wouldn't take that long to just check out. And there was some that came out recently. Oh, I mean, there's Lies of P. That one I'm gonna do. That one I'm gonna definitely try to get to this year. Lies of P. That actually looked good. Yeah, that looked good. I gotta get to that. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but hopefully somebody cares about that. Certain people here like Skittles could care less about any Souls-likes. But I know some people will be happy to see that. Some more Souls-likes getting played. I don't know how I started talking about that. Talking about random things. Where am I again? Oh, the fountain must be there. Almost getting to be time to go down and check the mines again. Although, I may just want to give it 2... I don't think it's been... It's only been like half a cycle. When it gets back to full moon, I'm pretty sure that will have been one cycle. I could just go and just check one of them.
and see if it seems to have progressed. I got a little more time, though. What the heck? He's putting everybody to sleep. Just die. You know what? I'm just gonna use the goddamn brown bottle. Oh, that does everybody. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, maybe I should buy more brown bottles. Oh, it's half moon now. Wait a second. Has it only been... It's coming down from a full moon. I thought it was going up to a full moon. Wait a second. Has it been more than a cycle of the moon? Like more... Has it already been more than a full cycle at this point? And I just didn't notice? It had to have been... longer than just simply 4 changes of the moon since I came up here. But I already full moon and I didn't notice. Maybe it was. Let me go check and see what the situation is down there. Speaking of AI, I wonder if when you do the auto heal, I wonder how intelligently it manages your MP. Like between... So like, I noticed at that time it used single heal spells, but before when I did auto heal, it just used a Meteorama. It's interesting. And the closest one to check is actually these guys over here. Definitely gotta use spells. Luckily Mirajin is quite good in them. Gonna go crazy. Use all the magic. Annihilate him. We'll level up. Alright, this tunnel's at 3 now. That's good. Which means that those there are probably at 5. That's far enough. They need to get to 7. I think they need 7 is the limit. Unless it's different for each of them. Which it could be. But at this point, I don't know. I mean, I guess I may as well check. It's just some of the tunnels will get dug out faster than others. So probably there's a certain order to what you're meant to check. What you're meant to get access to, that is. He just digs without saying a word. That guy is diligent. Yeah, he's at 5. Nothing new here. As expected. It's too bad, you know something that was really good that Persona 1 had, that this game doesn't have, is the repeat function for its, it had programmable autos with the repeat function. Man. Too bad this game doesn't have repeat. That would be awesome. Persona 1 was probably the first one to do that, I bet. Oh, metal card. Alright, so they did get one extra room. Are they getting another one by the time it goes back to full moon? I don't even know. We may as well just, like, we might as well go back to full moon and then do a whole nother full cycle for the next full moon. That's what we may as well do. It's gonna take a while. More grinding incoming. Oh well. I wonder, I've been so short on life stones. I wonder if the reason I'm not getting any life stones is you don't get life stones from dark demons. Maybe you only get life stones from light demons. Who knows? Probably the case. Because all of a sudden I've been so, like ever since I come in here, I've been starved for life stones. Which was an issue when I was trying to contact every demon, but less of an issue now. Probably wasted so much time with all the time we spent trying to contact all these dark demons. It's a good thing I know it now. Ooh, turquoise. Yeah, we're getting gems too. That's good. You know, I wanted to like save up magnetite faster. We could put away Ossipede and Apsaris. As long as I'm mostly auto battling, they're not actually that big of a help. Might want to just put them away for the time being, anyway. Because then I can get even more magnetite. May as well save up as much as we can for now. Like, I mean, it already feels like at this point I could easily have enough for the rest of the game, but it never pays to, you know, to be optimal. Right, Skittles? Hey, Skittles, how's it going? Welcome to Flip Afternoon Stream. I had to start. I couldn't wait to stream this game, Skittles. I couldn't wait till this evening. I had to start right now because I just couldn't wait to grind more demons. That makes me feel very special, Skittles. Thank you. And I would just like to say on behalf of the Flipsiders stream, hello to everybody in Skittlebrow's meeting. This guy here, Skittlebrow, he's quite a guy. Oh, you probably know him as his real name, whatever. But his actual true name is Skittles. That's his you know, what do you call that? That's his secret name. It's his true name. And Skittles here, he's good at meetings. So make sure you guys all listen to him. I'm sure Skittles has got the volume up and he's letting everybody hear this because I've got, you know, very important things to say. Yeah, that Alf guy. This man here has ideas. Make sure you guys really should. You should be paying. Listen, first of all, double this man's pay. Double this man's pay right now. He's worth it. If you know what's good for you, go listen to the Flip. Your avatar for your accounts at work is that. That's pretty funny. Pretty good, Skills. Do they see your avatar? Yeah, they would see it too, wouldn't they? Like in Zoom calls, I guess. I think I've never ever used Zoom. I have never used Zoom a single time in my life because whenever we would do like, I don't know, I always just talk to people on Facebook. Like all the people I know use Facebook. When we would do like, even back when there was COVID and we were doing like, you know, movie watchings, we'd still either use Facebook or Discord. I've never used Zoom. Never. I don't know too much about it. But I bet that's what you're using. Oh, they see your face like a real person? That's disgusting, Skittles. That, like, what is that? This is the time of virtual avatars. They shouldn't see your face. That's an invasion of your privacy. How dare they? Ha! I kill me! Hey. chills. Nope. Oh, that's right. He said. I forgot that he said no problemo. Hey, no problemo. Willie. Hey, Willie. No problemo. Just give me the cat. Give me the cat, Willie. Ha! Vocab, how's it going? Welcome to Big Alf Gaming. Ha! No problemo. Vocab, did you bring the cat? Hey, Willie. Vocab brought the cat. Let's get the sandwiches. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do loud Alf voice right into the microphone. Skittles makes a valid point. And see that's exactly why Skittles is so good at meetings. He raises valid points. You guys should all listen to Skittles more often, you know? You gotta learn to respect Skittles like I do. He knows what's going on. I know, Asian Waste, you got a free Willy. That's right, Vocab, Big Sloth Gaming. We're slothing. Slothing today. We're gonna get this sloth all slothed out. I hope. I want to try to do it before dinner. My dudes need to grind. This is kind of like RTS gaming here. Like I'm waiting for all my little dudes to mine. Like all the NPCs from school, they've all turned into like probes, and they're like slowly bringing back minerals. Except I actually get nothing out of it. Man, all the demons are collecting their minerals. That's a ripoff. These kids, they need a union. This is not a union joint, this demon world. This is not a union joint. This is... I did. Both you and him are watching me from work, Skittles. Does that make you feel good? You guys are brothers slacking off at work. You're Slack brothers. Good for you. No, or should we call you multitaskers? What you're really doing is getting things done. You're getting your work done, and you're getting the important work done of monitoring the activities of internet idiots. So really, you're multitasking. You should get credit for that. The Skittles guy, he gets things done. Put him in charge. Oh, do we have a new Skittles clip? Wait, what was the clip? No, it didn't involve. I was trying to make a Skittles clip, but the thing that got clipped was the early bird gets the worm. Anyway, go back and watch the VOD, Skittles. You were mentioned earlier. You were mentioned right at the beginning of the stream. You're gonna want to watch that. That's good content. Heads up, Skittles. Yeah. As subscriber 1A/1B, you are due these are just some of the perks. You get these kinds of heads up. It's good for you. Is it okay? It's a full moon again. So let's just do one more full cycle and then we'll go and see. I would imagine they might have moved another step, maybe. But I don't know. Don't talk about when you're not here. Look away. Also look away when you're talking to me in general. Yes, sir, Skittles. Yes, sir, I will... Wait, hold on. Let me look this way. Yes, sir, Skittles. Whatever you say. What if I just look down, like, and shamefully? Skittles. Everyone, I would like to welcome Skittles to the stream. Skittles, it is an honor to have you here. Sir. That's how everybody should talk to you, Skittles. You hear that, people in Skittles meeting? You better. It triggers your punch reflex. But, like, you know, we're actually far away from each other. So you just end up punching your camera, and that costs you money. And then, who's responsible for the cameras and like the computer screens and other devices that you break because of your punch reflex? Of course it's me. Skittles, just send me your bills. You know, that's on me. If you are breaking your stuff because I make you mad, that's on me. I mean, that's on me, sir. Is that better? Is that inhibiting your punch reflex? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're clearly blaming me. Even an idiot like me can figure that out. This is some good stream content, huh? I think there had to be something clip-worthy in that little interchange somewhere. I think somebody should find it. That's what I'm saying. Notice I put a couple of my demons away. I'm mostly auto-battling here as we, like, walk back and forth in this hallway. Although I'm not at this moment, but... if I'm auto-battling, the two demons in back are doing nothing, so... it just doesn't make sense to, like, waste their magnetite. That's why I put them away. And now we're at 36,000 mag. 71,000 Maka. You see, grinding is good. Grinding is good, guys. Grinding is good. I'm getting all this stuff. Cocked with furrow eyebrows. Asian Waste makes a valid point. And then notice how Skittles acknowledges the point made by Asian Waste appropriately with his own come on bro for furrowed eyebrows. And that's appropriate, you know, that's appropriate meeting behavior that Skittles exhibits. Skittles knows what to do. I bet at the meetings that Skittles attends, it's probably normal. Like, somebody will raise a point like, well, I think that our company should do this. And then somebody else is like, come on, bro. And they just kind of tilt their head. And then the dude is like, well, maybe you're right about that. Valid? That's a valid dissenting point. I could see that happening. I don't know. Skittles uses Kamandra so broadly. It really is. He's so versatile with his usage of it that you really have to be a Kamandra expert to like fully understand all the nuances of Skittles' usage of the Kamandra. Kamandra-ing is really an art form. It's an art form. It's not a science. It's an art. And Skittles is a master artist when it comes to Kamandras. Oh shit! I should probably cure the poison that I have. If I auto heal, does that cure? Oh, I'm in no condition to do that. Well, that sucks. We can fix that though. Or is that I have Paralotti as well. We need some auto heal. Good time to go fountaining. Good thing you're at the meeting. The Alf guy would have made a horrible mistake. Take your deal and shove it. And remember that, guys. That Alf base is meant to be a Kamandra. Although it really doesn't quite read the same way because Kamandra looks like he's got this look of skepticism and annoyance and self-importance. Whereas the Winking Alf, he looks like he's smiling, which I think is the main thing. So he looks just like he's drunk. that's drunk Alf. So that's a whole different kind of Kamandra. An Alf, bruh. perception of my profession has ranged from gas station attendant to business executive. Right now, we're leaning more towards business executive, but you might be a business executive at a gas station, Skittles. I haven't ruled out that possibility. Let's keep it vague. I'm gonna keep me guessing, Skittles. Don't let me know what you do. Keep me guessing. That's how you keep the relationship between streamer and viewer at its most sharp. You gotta keep me sharp. Sharp, bruh. What are we at with the moon here? I need to do one more full cycle till it's back up to full. Mr. Ford from Frisky Dingo. I don't even remember what Frisky Dingo is at all, so no. I don't... Was I ever... What the heck is Frisky Dingo? I'm not quite sure. Maybe if you remind me, I'll remember. So obviously I don't remember Mr. Ford. Does he like Fords? I'm sure gas station and meet, like, you know, in today's corporate world, I'm sure everybody has their little meetings in Zoom. They've got to have their meetings, like gas station people. Maybe not the attendants, but, you know, the executives. No, to discuss how much they're going to gouge people at the gas station today. They've got to have their meetings. Maybe they once in a while invite, you know, just some, like, ordinary gas station attendants. Like to weigh in. Well, what do you think, Billy Bob? How much do you think we should gouge people today? Well, I think you should double your prices. Noted. Thank you. Oh, that's like some kind of cartoon or something? Adam Reed's series after C-Lab. Oh, okay. I had heard of that. No, I never saw that. I only watched a little bit of C-Lab when it was new. Like, when Adult Swim was new, I did watch all of that for a short time. And then, after a little while, I'd kind of just settle back into just watching the anime portion. And then after a few years of doing that, I mean, these days I haven't watched Adult Swim in a long time, because there's like no need to watch it for anime anymore. Watch everything online. Better that way, in fact. But Frisky Dingo make Archer between C-Lab and Archer. I didn't realize that those were even connected. That the Archer is made by the C-Lab guy. All right, something to check out.
Our only option is to kill Xander Cruz, and the first thing we should do is distribute the rocket boots.
Huh. Adult Swim humor, you know, like there's that, like I feel like Adult Swim kind of popularized a certain style of like stupidity humor, like stonerish stupidity, random humor that got, I don't know, I think it's still with us to a certain extent today. And it's, I kind of like it, but at the same time, a little goes a long way. A little goes a long way, and I get sick of it pretty quick. Yeah, it's stoner humor. Yeah, I think so. I think it kind of ran its course a little bit. I don't know. Well, I mean, these days humor is just outlawed, of course. But back in the before times when humor was allowed, I think that, you know, I think it was starting to run its course. I think that, I don't know. Well, I mean, they still have Adult Swim. Like, it's still on. They're still doing something, right? What do they have now? Like, did they show... They probably were showing, like, Archer for a while. I mean, as far as, like, not the anime, but the comedy stuff. I forget. Oh, I watched... I was with a friend. I was watching some Adult Swim. So I was just checking out some adult... On their website, they've got, like, a bunch of their content, like, new and old. Right? So, I was checking out. There's this thing that, like, okay, so like you guys all know, like, Too Many Cooks. That little viral thing that everybody watched. Too Many Cooks. I love that. That was hilarious. But I was checking out some other stuff that the people who did that had done, and it is of real varying quality. Yeah, I was checking out adult content. Isn't that what Adult Swim is? Well, I haven't watched any Adult Swim comedy thing in a really, really long time. "15 spells? Okay. I never watched Venture Brothers. That one went... I'm a little familiar with it, but never got into it. A lot of those shows, Venture Brothers and Megalock Bullets or whatever, just never really got into. Not because I didn't like it, I just never tried. I just never got around to looking at it. There was Bears on Camera. Didn't see that one. I watched that one with... I tried watching that one where it's like the fireplace... Because this was around Christmas, so like the Christmas one where it's the fireplace, and then the camera pulls back. Like it shows like a fireplace for about 10 minutes. And there's people talking in the background, and the camera pulls back, and it ends up being like a horror movie. I tried watching that. I couldn't get through it because it's a clever concept, but in the end, it just becomes a really bad horror movie, and it's terribly written, and I couldn't get through that. In fact, I kind of hated that. It was interesting for about 15 minutes, maybe. But it's a 2-hour thing. That I didn't care for. They've got... I had seen some of their YouTube stuff in the past. Some of their YouTube stuff is like okay. Some like I like the creepy, the weird creepy YouTube stuff. Like that's popular these days. Weird creepy YouTube stuff. Some of that stuff is okay. I like anything creepy. There's some creepy animations that I thought were good, but for the most part, that stuff can be a little bit on the lame side as well. And I don't really go out of my way to look for it either. Springboard for a lot of budding comedians. Is it? I didn't know there still were comedians. I mean, no, I guess there is. I just don't pay any attention. It doesn't, and I don't ever hear anybody talking about them ever. I mean, it could just be my, self-selected sample of discords and friend groups that I'm in, but nobody ever talks about modern comedians ever. Unless it's like a controversy with like Ricky Gervais or something. But beyond that, nobody talks about anything to do with comedians. I have no evidence that anybody I know watches any comedians ever. But probably somebody does. This doesn't seem like anybody cares. Sometimes I feel like I need more comedy in my life because all the places I still listen to a couple of comedy podcasts and stuff once in a while, and sometimes I feel like, oh yeah, I haven't. Sometimes I say to myself, oh yeah, I haven't laughed in a while. I should probably try to laugh. Like you go through doing all your like day-to-day stuff, activities, and like you realize, oh wait a second, I haven't laughed in like 3 days. And like, I don't know, I feel like it has like a noticeable psychological negative effect on people if you go too long without laughing, you know? I feel like comedy used to be a more regular part of people's lives, just like in TV shows and movies. There was, for a while there, comedians used to be really big deals. H. John Benjamin, never heard of him. He didn't get his start, but he got a lot of his work. Oh, but is he the guy who is responsible for Too Many Cooks, or who is that? His family is sort of pissed. H. John Benjamin? Today people were complaining a lot about AI George Carlin comedy set. Something you would have despised. You think so? Yeah. Oh, kind of like that AI Seinfeld thing. Stuff like that can be kind of interesting, but to me it's gimmicky. But it's interesting in the fact, I think that people are already losing interest in that, but it's interesting, when it was new, the fact that they could do it was interesting. After a while, you kind of realize it's basically just kind of, the AI part of it is just simply organizing different bits of things into something that sort of sounds like it goes together, but it's really just essentially a randomizer for content. It's a content randomizer, and it's not as interesting as you might first think. And like there's AI, like all AIs are kind of like that too. AI YouTubers and AI VTubers that they try to have. They're interesting gimmicks, but that's kind of all they are. But, you know, they're at the forefront of... Eventually they're going to be able to probably do much, much more than just be like simple, silly gimmicks. So they're at the beginning of, you know, something. This dungeon's giving you a good laugh? Not that kind of laugh, vocab. It's not the kind of laugh that's good for your soul. Maybe it is, actually. Same with Stephen Colbert. Oh, Stephen... Yeah, but Stephen Colbert hasn't been funny since he was on The Daily Show, in my opinion. I mean, you know, like, the whole thing he did where he, like... I forget what it was called, the Colbert Report. I never really liked the Colbert Report. But, I mean, that was at least interesting, but I never really liked... It probably was funny in many... I just never really liked that idea. I thought that was a gimmick I wasn't really into. But, like, he completely sucks now. He's terrible. H. John Benjamin is the voice of Archer. Bob from Bob's Burgers. Oh, okay. I mean, but, like, you know, that's more of being a voice actor than a comedian. That's not really being a comedian. Don't you, like, right? I don't know. Maybe he does comedy on the side. But I understand that people really like those shows. He is a comedian and writer. Comedy writing. Yeah, there is comedy. There is such a thing as comedy writing. Yeah. And that counts as comedy. I was thinking more of like in terms of like stand-up comedians, but sure, yeah, that counts. But even that, I mean, there obviously is stuff like, you know, I get. Do they still make episodes of Archers? I know they still make Bob's Burgers, and it's popular, and there's a few other cartoons that people like, but stuff like that still feels like it's a lot more niche than it used to be, doesn't it? Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just my bubble not perceiving it. But and also, I don't pay attention to anything. No way? Really? You think so? Elaborate. They very recently ended Archer. More prominent than live action. Well, saying one thing is more prominent than another is not really saying how prominent it is in general. Especially since live action sitcoms are dead as a doornail. Well, that's not true. But I mean, that's an exaggeration, but they're pretty dead. It's a pretty dead concept. So that's essentially saying nothing. They're not on, you know... I mean, there are still... I know they're there. There are still animated sitcoms. Like, my family watches that... They still watch that, like, Sheldon show. But they're not relevant in the public zeitgeist. I think you can... What is not true? That sitcoms are not relevant? Or just that they're dead? It's not true. I corrected I was definitely exaggerating, but they're definitely not. There's no way you think that, like, sitcoms are just as relevant today as the 80s or 90s. You definitely don't think. There's no way you would say that, right? And it's a big difference also that people don't watch sitcoms. Oh, how relevant are they compared Rick and Morty? That's not a sitcom. That's more like, yeah, that's closer to being like an Adult Swim kind of show. That's not a sitcom. I mean, if you wanted to say, okay, there are comedy shows that are still popular, that's an example. Is Rick and Morty as popular as it ever was, though? Because I feel like that show lost a lot. I was shocked when I heard it was still 7 seasons. And I don't ever hear people quote that. They don't in my sphere of people. I don't ever see anybody talk about Rick and Morty anymore. They used to. It's an animated sitcom? No, it is not. It is not a situation comedy. Rick and Morty is a situation comedy? Lampstation, what up? Yeah, TV shows are dying in general, and the sitcom format is a dying format. I think that's pretty fair to say. Read the first sentence. Is it sitcom? It's an American adult animated science fiction sitcom. Well, notice that it has about 10 things in the description, though. I still don't agree with it. It's not a sitcom. That's like, I don't know. That's like saying like the Brack Show is a sitcom, or like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, or just pick if it is okay. If that's a sitcom, then every single comedy show is a sitcom. Does sitcom just mean comedy? Does it just mean a half-hour comedy? Because that's all of a sudden it's like a very broad definition, you know? Yeah, like that seems like a stretch. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into like debating with the definition of sitcom. I mean, agree to disagree. I don't see that as a sitcom. Not that important, though. Well, it's like one of those things where it's like you're getting into like debating roguelikes. What's a roguelike, right? Yeah, see, these kinds of debates can exist outside the video game sphere. Yeah, I need to agree to disagree, I guess. I've got a little bit, maybe my perception is too, but I think that like the thing with sitcoms is there's such a well-defined, very heavily trotted, very specific thing that sitcoms are. And I also think that like as part of being a sitcom is being in front of a live studio audience and having the laugh track. You can have sitcoms without a laugh track, but like quite honestly, even just taking the laugh track away kind of makes it not a sitcom anymore. Like that changes it from being a sitcom into like being like a different thing, a different category of comedy show. Like I don't even think that what is that show? Arrested Development. I don't think that's a sitcom at all. Like those shows like that, I don't see those as sitcoms. Man, that's just me. You may disagree. Just because, like, what a sitcom was so heavily codified over many, many years, you know? You think so, huh? Well, I mean, that's just... I think that's just going by... If you're just... That's just taking the term sitcom literally, I feel like, and really... I don't think in that case it makes necessarily a lot of sense to take the phrase situation comedy and, like, stick to some literal thing there. Like, it's... Because it's such a heavily codified thing in American culture, like between like the 60s and the 90s and 2000s, and even like I mean, that format of show is like mostly dead today. It's like almost completely dead. But for a long time, it was such a specific thing that was done over and over and over again in a specific way. Laugh track, filmed in front of a live studio audience. You know? That's just what I think. Now, keep in mind, I'm an idiot, but that's kind of what I think. Narration of the show establishes the situation. I mean, does that definition really make sense, Asian Waste? Because that's so broad. Every single TV show is about a situation. Like, situation is a very generalized word. So if situation comedy just means a comedy that's based on some sort of situation, that's every comedy. Then you may as well just say comedy. Am I wrong? You know what I mean? Are panel shows sitcoms? No. So you're saying that... Are you saying that a sitcom is any comedy show besides panel shows? Okay, besides... So any show that's written. You're saying a situation comedy is any comedy show that's written. Although I guess stand-up specials can be written. They are written. Any fictionalized show. That's a comedy. That's a sitcom. Is that what you're saying? Sketch comedy is not a sitcom? Sketch comedy is not... Sketch comedy is not a fictionalized show that's written. That wouldn't be, if that is your definition. Fiction? No, well, no, but it's not written, though, because it's improvised. It's not written down. No, well, okay, no, I guess it... Well, no, yeah, okay, yeah, sketch comedy can be written, yeah. Like SNL. Well, yeah, no, but I mean, like, under your definition, SNL perfectly fits under your definition of sitcom. It's a situation. Yes. Isn't SNL, like, aren't all the sketches situations from which comedy is derived? I don't understand the difference. Yeah, I was thinking of improv. You were right about that. But yeah, like, yeah. I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't think that SNL is a sitcom. Based on what you said before. Oh, it's full moon again. Short form. Well, then isn't SNL short form? Especially? So it's a sitcom. So yeah, so you're saying that SNL is a sitcom as well. I think you're aware that most people would probably disagree with that, right? Although SNL is filmed in front of a live studio audience and does have a... Well, it doesn't have a laugh track. Like, it's actually, you know, specifically live people laughing. Okay. I don't know, man. Well, that was a fun debate. A form of commitment to stay tuned to watch the next episode? Alright, but you didn't say that before. That was just added into your definition. Wait, that would mean... Wait a second, that doesn't make any sense, because most sitcoms are episodic. And they don't really have any form of commitment to stay tuned to watch the next episode. So that doesn't make any sense. That can't be the case. Seinfeld is also, like, it kind of stands, it's like it's a notable exception as well, or it's a quandary with your definition as well, because if any comedy show steps outside the boundaries of having a situation, like Seinfeld specifically, I mean, it wanted to claim to be, it's not exactly a show about nothing, like the joke was, but still, like, it doesn't, what that really kind of means is, like, Seinfeld specifically is like anti-sitcom, and that it doesn't have a specific situation you have to understand to watch the show. Like, that's kind of what that meant. So, it's kind of specifically not a sitcom by your definition. Although, I mean, I don't know, if you just ask people who are fans of Seinfeld, is Seinfeld a sitcom? I guess a lot of people would say no. It seems like a sitcom. In a lot of ways, it seems like an anti-sitcom, but in a lot of ways, it still seems to fit under the definition of a sitcom, you know? Whereas, and it seems decidedly different from something like Larry David Show, which no laugh track and not written, like largely improvised, definitely seems unsitcom-like. Seinfeld at least seems sitcom-like, you know? That's a whole... You think it's a sitcom? It definitely seems sitcom-like, because it follows all the basic rules that sitcoms follow from a superficial stance. But you can also see how it like is kind of meant like it's driven to be like anti-sitcom as well. It's 100% a sitcom. How does that fit? But that doesn't fit the definition you said. That you said. I mean, I think it's a sitcom, but it doesn't fit your definition. Well, I mean, the characters are the situation. If quote situation just means having characters, then situation doesn't mean anything. That doesn't make any sense. The situation is there's 4 characters. Doesn't make any. That's just that every single show has characters. Then definitely you are essentially saying all comedy shows that are like that's taking something that has a very specific meaning and like making it overly broad for no good reason, I feel like. Where I mean, like, I think it's more useful to have a specific definition of sitcom since it's so well understood by most people intuitively, like what that should mean. Nah, I don't think it's broad. I don't know. Well, I can't agree to that. Well, at least I don't think it's that broad anyway. Okay, they moved 2 rooms. That's good. If they moved 2 rooms, then oh shoot, I probably should summon the other demons now. The cost doesn't matter. The Maka doesn't matter. Just for safety's sake, we should summon these guys down here. It's a little bit tougher down here. Although I probably don't need them, but still. We can certainly afford it. Due to be safe. Yeah, I don't think that's a necessary distinction. Like, you don't need the word you don't need to, like, mutate the word sitcom just to have a word that differentiates, like, written comedy shows, fictionalized comedy shows from, like, stuff like The Daily Show. It's not necessary. Not according to most other people, though. Well, it can't. It's hard to provide evidence of that. Well, you're so adamant about it. Comedy genres. Yeah, but still. Scripted dialogue in a thematic situation. But if you click on actual sitcom, fixed characters who mostly carry over from episode to episode. Sitcom can be contrasted with sketch comedy, where a group stand-up comedy where a comedian tells jokes, stories to an audience. Sitcoms originate in radio. They are mostly found in television as dominant narrative form. Sitcom can be recorded in front of a studio audience, depending on the program's production format. The effect of a live studio audience may be imitated or enhanced by use of a laugh track. Critics disagree over the utility of the term sitcom in classifying shows that have come into existence since the term 21st century. Many contemporary American sitcoms use a single camera setup and do not feature a laugh track, thus often resembling dramedy shows. So it says here that it's contested. Critics disagree over the use of that term. And it hedges by saying it may be recorded in front of a studio audience, and it may have the use of a laugh track. It doesn't say it has to. But it does say that it implies that that's a part of what makes something a sitcom and it is contested if you go and click on the thing. So, I mean, that is kind of, I mean, it's sort of saying that the way you're looking at it is valid, but it's also, I think, saying that the way, it's implying also that many people have a more specific definition, I think, if you read between the lines there. A style of show. It had morphed into it. Like it had morphed into a style of show which is now sort of going extinct because everything, like things aren't shot in front of studio audiences anymore, and you don't have the laugh track anymore. Like that's going out of style. Contextualized by characters in any situation comedy. You need to understand the setup of the situation and the characters. Right. No, I mean, I understand that that's one way to interpret that, what that's saying there, but I still think of sitcom as being a little more specific than that. Yeah, but that's beside the point, I think. Because I mean that would be the case either way. Well, it seems you're right, though, that that does seem to be the origin of the word, of the term. But it also said that it also kind of it's a little bit more. If you read the whole article, there's a little bit more nuance than just simply the little title blurb sentence of what it is. There's a little bit more nuance than that I don't think you're quite giving credit to. That's 5. Wait, is that? So these should be 4 deep, 4 or 5 deep now. That was, no, that's 60. Wait, that's 6. That one is 6. So one more. That one needs one more, and maybe that one over there too. At least this one, I think, should be done in one more moon cycle. I still think you're being a little too adamant. Don't you think so, Agent Waste? Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, the Wikipedia article itself said that it's like, I mean, it basically said that critics disagree about the application of that term. Well, that's right. It just because sitcom has become, it's evolved as a term to be a little bit more specific, I think. And that's why. That's stuff that is more dramedy, but yet I mean, just the fact that it's single camera is referenced as a point of contention right there. Because people don't think of sitcoms as being single camera. And I think that that's valid. I certainly don't. I didn't. Well, I got to admit, you were a little bit more right than I thought you were. But that's just, I don't know. I never looked up the definition. It's just because in popular usage, people just don't use the term that way. I guess people use it kind of wrong. Or people have been using it. But I don't know. It still doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it makes sense, sitcom. It's just that, ever since I grew up, the term was not used that broadly. Like, sitcoms have become such a specific thing. It doesn't according to the original definition, but according to its popular usage, it does, right? You get what I'm saying, Asian Ways? Like, terms can evolve. Sometimes terms can evolve for bad reasons. But then you got to argue about what. But sometimes, I think in the case of that, I think that makes sense for it to evolve that way. We can't just be slavish and stick to the original definition of terms when there's a good reason for them to evolve, Or I don't think we should. I think that seems like not good. You never heard it not be called a sitcom? That surprises me. I bet there's plenty of people who would say it's not a sitcom. I mean, how much have you really asked people about it, I bet if you took a poll of people who are fans of Rick and Morty, which, by the way, I'm not anymore. I really liked the first 2 seasons, but it really lost me after that. I don't know if you still watch it. Anyway, the first 2 seasons were good. I bet if you took a poll of people, a lot of them would. Well, it'd be interesting. I don't know how that would play out. But I bet a substantial amount of fans would say, no, it's not a sitcom. Maybe even more than half. I wouldn't be shocked. We can take a poll of people right here. I don't know if maybe everybody's tuned this conversation out. Wait, didn't somebody say, like, one person here said that they don't think it was a sitcom? Is it Lamp Station? Lamp Station said Seinfeld is a sitcom. Lamp Station said we have one, it's a very small sample size, we have one person in chat who says he doesn't think Rick and Morty's a sitcom. So there's one example. No, I mean, you gotta... At this point, we're talking about how people perceive it. So what the Wikipedia article says is beside the point. Do you still watch Rick and Morty? Does anybody here still watch it? I really didn't like the 3rd season. Or the 4th season. I mean, 3rd season was actually alright, but it just was kind of... It was kind of icky compared to the first 2 seasons. It's kind of weird. Not as urgently as you did before. Well, I could see that. Definitely felt like there was a big shift in like tone and writing style somewhere in the 3rd and 4th season. The first 2 seasons are great. I don't know how it is now. I mean, people also say, I've seen videos about people saying, oh, The Simpsons is good again now. But man, I feel no compulsion to check. I don't know what the situation is with Rick and Morty. You never liked it. Well, there you go. That's different altogether. Too many neck beards quoting it. Well, I mean, what's wrong with people that have beards on their necks? I don't want to do it. It's itchy. But if someone else wants to have a beard on their neck, I think that's fine. They can quote things. But not that I go around quoting it, because Was it? I don't know. Was it really that quotable? I guess so. I don't think it's quotable on the level of The Simpsons. I couldn't I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's been a while since I've seen it, but I couldn't like quote one line from it. The funniest stuff in it to me was like always like the improvised stuff. It felt like, I mean, I know there were specific episodes that improvised like the whole episodes, but it felt like there was a lot of improvised stuff in the show, the way it was written. It had that kind of feel, which it's a little bit more modern in the style of comedy. I mean, not like the show, but this goes back to your original point about relevance. Oh, what was that? I also don't think you should hold the fans of a show against the show, even if you don't like the fans. But I mean, like, also, you're not seeing, usually only seeing, as far as like fans of a show, you got to keep it, or of a game as well. You got to keep in mind, you're always seeing the worst elements of any fandom. You're always seeing the worst because that's like in today's culture, like in social media. People only talk about or they share like examples of things that are bad. They don't share examples of things that are good nearly as often. So like fan bases every fan base gets a bad rap for the most part, except for maybe, what is that one game? Except for Undertale. No, I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not. Aside from that, fan bases get a bad rap. I think it's kind of like the same phenomenon with like news. It leads. Like most people have a very warped towards the negative view of the world because of the news. The news always shows the 1% of what's going on, the 0.1% that's the worst things that are happening every day. And that's been the way for a long time. But maybe with social media, it's even worse now. You were saying that sitcoms aren't relevant? Well, yeah. I was specifically... I know, we got... Well, the thing there is... The problem there is I was thinking of sitcoms as specific type of... The laugh track sitcom. That's what I was saying. Whereas you were just using the word sitcom to mean any kind of comedy show, basically. I mean, not any kind, but like... You're using it much more broadly than I was, right? So it's understandable why we would have a difference of opinion there, because we're using the terms differently. But yeah, okay. I mean, even if you're gonna say, like, putting the debate about that word aside, if you just want to talk about how relevant are comedy shows today, I still think comedy shows are less relevant than they used to be, for sure. Like Rick and Morty aside. Also, I don't know, is Rick and Morty really as relevant as they used to be? I don't think so, but it could still be popular. I would imagine it was most popular during the first couple seasons. But anyway, there's no way that, like, a TV, like, I think we all agree, TV is less relevant. Movies are less relevant than they used to be, right? So, from that point alone, it stands to reason that comedy shows are less relevant. But I also think it's less relevant because just comedy hasn't been doing well lately for various reasons. There's that as well. So both of those factors there, I think. And then also sitcoms, specifically like the laugh track, traditional style sitcom, to be clear, that's what I was saying was dying, which, clearly I think we agree on that. Well, I'm not, like, less relevant doesn't necessarily mean absent from the public zeitgeist. That's not what I'm saying. I simply was saying it's less relevant. Comedy's popular now, everyone's offended. That's one reason. That's definitely one reason why it's harder to do comedy, for sure. So it just isn't made as much. Yep. People are up in arms about The Bear. Oh yeah, that show. I've seen that show. Like I've seen some episodes of that. That is not. You want to talk about like confusion about whether. I'm sorry, what is the show again? We were just talking about it. The Jason Bateman show. Arrested Development. You want like confusion about whether that's a comedy or a dramedy? The Bear isn't even close to being a comedy. Like at even dramedy is like just seems kind of wrong. It seems wrong to call The Bear a dramedy, much less a comedy. Like that's basically just like a drama. It's a drama. I mean, I've seen. I don't like the show. I've only seen some of it because like my parents have watched it, right? So it's one of those shows that they will watch and they'll have on me like, I'll like give it a chance. I'm like, the Bear is better written than most stuff I see these days. At first I was like, oh, the writing of this actually seems several notches above what I'm used to seeing, like from modern stuff. This actually might be good, but I don't know. I just don't really like where the show is coming from. It's like, it just feels overly negative and kind of, it's dark and not a way that seems constructive. I don't like it. But it's, I mean, I get at best you could say it's like a black comedy, but I really think it's just more of like an unpleasant drama. If there's a term for unpleasant drama, that's what The Bear is. Very popular. Yeah, it's popular because it's like the writing is head and shoulders above most stuff that comes out these days. But I still don't like it. I find it unpleasant. Not a fan. This Flag Means Death. That one I have no idea what that is. But The Bear, it's well written, but I don't like it. But I mean, like, it's not surprising that would be popular because I honestly think that people are starved for good stuff and that standards are much lower than they used to be. Like the fact that everybody lauded Barry and like Barry was so popular and so like critically praised, to me, like that's exhibit number A on how people's standards are like ridiculously low these days for what they consider to be good. What we do in the shadows? I don't know, man. I just don't want to give shows a chance because I just know I'm going to be disappointed. I like the movie, but there's no way that I don't want to. I'm just gonna end up not liking it. Why bother? I got so much other stuff I want to watch. Like there's so much things I want to watch, so much anime I want to watch. There's light novels to read. There's books to read. There's video games to play. I just can't. Can't do that anymore. I'd rather just not watch any shows for give it like a decade, and I don't know, we'll see how things change. You want to watch a show based on a movie? Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to watching a show based on a movie. I just don't trust that things can be... I don't trust things to be good these days. Yeah, that's not the issue. I just don't trust writing ability of modern shows. And even when they are well written, there's just something about them that rubs me the wrong way anyway, Like, I don't know. If I'm ever at somebody's house and everybody else wants to watch it, I'll watch it then. But if I can avoid it, I'm just gonna avoid it. Because there's tons of stuff I can watch that I know I'll have a much higher percentage chance of liking. Gotta play the odds. I just got a whip. I think I just got a whip from that dude. Oh, I might have to go soon. I might take I don't know if I'm gonna take a break or Scorpion Whip. I better examine that. But I checked out, I followed Mr. Leo's recommendation, and I checked out Delicious in Dungeon. I will definitely take anime recommendations. What's the Shadow Needle? 3 to 5 hits on that. Throne. Oh, so it's like basically like a bow. It's like a back row weapon you can use, unlimited. Oh, that could be good for Yumi. All right, what about this whip now? I wonder if that's back row. What's it say? You might need the item analyzer. 3 to 5 hits as well. 7-11. Those could both be good. Show. But yeah, I followed 2 Mr. Leo recommended. Did Mr. Leo show up today? I don't think he showed up yet. Skittles is here. He's probably he might be working though. Mr. Leo, not all of my audience. When I stream earlier, we tend to get different audience, but neither of these is really well. I don't know. Actually, this, considering that it's 3 to 5 hits, it probably is. It is definitely a big downgrade in attack, but it could be worth it. I don't know. Because that's 2 to 3 hits. So average 2.5 hits versus average 4 hits. The thing is, though, that I'm even getting a stat point from that. Let me see if I get a stat point for this. Oh, I can't equip this. Wait. Oh, for some reason I can't equip this. What? But I can equip that. Why can't I equip that? Because if it were male only, it would be grayed out. I don't know why. Huh. Oh, for some reason she can't equip that. I wonder if the whip can be used from the back line. I think the whip might be better than the needle. The needle is definitely an improvement over the heat glaive, but what about this? She can't equip it either. I don't know what's up with that whip, why they can't equip it. But the shadow needle is probably a good improvement for her. Being able to use that from the back row is pretty awesome. So I might not need to be shooting as much anymore. Okay. I need to wait for like another... Actually, oh, you know what? I probably should go back and save. Dinner's gonna be soon. I could just leave the show. I could leave this game on the pause, but I don't know. Let's see. Should I take a break and just leave the stream on pause, or should I turn it off? I think I'll try to just like go on break for a half hour and come back, maybe. The same treatment as Buffy. The movie is more... Well, I mean, you're talking to somebody who... I've never liked Buffy. I was never a fan of Joss Whedon's writing style. I mean, back in the 90s and 2000s, I liked a lot more stuff. You know, I checked out new TV shows and movies all the time. I was very into, like, pop culture. And even in the 2010s for a while. But even in those days, I just could never get into Buffy. I just didn't like the writing styles. It's something about it was, like, too cutesy for me. Although... I really liked Joss Whedon's... There's a couple of movies he's done that I've liked. His movies are more hit and miss for me. The first Avengers was like... I was like kind of blown away by how good the writing was in that. But the second Avengers, of course, nobody liked that. I didn't like it either. And since then, he hasn't really... I don't know what he... I mean, I'm done with Marvel movies anyway. Firefly? Yeah, Firefly... I remember, you know, my ex-wife was super into Firefly, and I was dragged to the movie. And I thought it was okay. Firefly, to be honest, I was a little bit more standoffish to Firefly than many people are. But I think, I don't dislike it. I actually thought it was pretty good. It just didn't quite grab me the way it grabbed some people. I did like that better. I thought that was the best TV thing that he's done that I saw. But Buffy, I could never get into. Angel, any of those shows I just couldn't get into. Although actually I might have never watched an episode of Angel. I think we should probably go back at this point. Pop culture is sharing space with the medium has emerged. Oh yeah. Well, well, actually, you know what, I mean, I would, rather than just say social media, I would specifically say, TikTokers. Yeah, YouTubers, TikTokers, and even stuff like Twitch TV, I think. Streamer. Let's just say streamers. I think streamers, that's like the new media. And that definitely is. There's no doubt about it. That's taken a huge... Like, kids are much more into that stuff than traditional media. And part of the reason for that is there's a certain appeal and attractiveness to like the new media stuff and like seeing real people. But I think also part of it is just a decline in quality of traditional media. Like part of the reason for that, I do think, is because a lot of traditional media just sucks a lot more and it's not as good. There's no doubt that movies lost something within the last decade. You know, movies were like, we took for granted back in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s how good movies were, you know?
But like, you can't blame. I don't blame kids for not watch modern stuff, and you know, and to a certain extent, they're trained to like not be able to like enjoy that as well, because that stuff is geared towards. There's also the attention span thing. Like, people are trained to have extremely short attention spans, and so like that traditional media also is harder for them to watch, because it's like, you know, anything that doesn't grab their attention like the first 30 seconds, they want to just click off. I mean, even adults, you can also retrain somebody's mind, so like that even affects older people as well. It's probably a lot of reasons why, but yeah, the new media has, no doubt about it, taken some of the heat off of it, away from the older media. And, you know, I like some of the new media I like, so that doesn't necessarily bother me that much. You know, there's no reason why everything has got to stay the same, and there's aspects of the new media that I like, and there's aspects I don't like. I don't think it's good that it's really, especially TikTok, trains people to have extremely short attention spans. It's probably not good for people's brains. But, you know, there's good things about it too. Although I'm much more into like Twitch and YouTube and long form stuff. TikTok, no. Lost viewership, but the TV has the same viewership, if not more. The TV? Really? I find that hard to believe. I need to see like ratings evidence of that. People are binging TV shows. Oh well, if you count Netflix as TV, yeah. But that seems like a bit of a cheat. I mean, people are consuming TV shows on Netflix, but they're not watching. The point is, they're not watching that stuff on TV. I mean, and no, that matters because it's a different format, and that the very fact that everything is now about binging and long form stuff is because it's all on Netflix now, and eventually that's going to warp the way. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. But the fact that it's a different media, the point is it's a whole. Netflix is a different form of media than TV shows. The only reason why like everything on Netflix, a large part of it, on the stuff on Netflix that people watch is movies and TV shows, is because that's still the majority of the media to put on there. But like the media is going to change. The nature of Netflix will eventually change the media into like completely different stuff because it's a different medium, you know. Going on technicality. No, I don't think so. I think there's a different nature to it. Like, you know, I think that the fact that it's on the computer and it's more free form and that things aren't scheduled and you can watch things whenever you want, that's in service of changing the media. Because Netflix is a different way to consume it, it naturally should change the media. It already has changed it to an extent. Like, you can see how shows have changed because of Netflix. What platform they watch it on should be irrelevant. It's not. No, I'm just saying it's relevant insofar as there's a different nature to it. So it's going to. The fact that there's a different nature means you can expect there to be changes in media in general. Which, I mean, you can't disagree with that. I wouldn't think, would you? What's that Japanese? The game's title. Oh, True Shin. New Shin versus True Shin. Oh, I think, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I think I do remember hearing that it is True Shin, not New Shin. Right. What's up, First World? You been lurking? Oh, cool. But Asian Waste has been providing us with good discussion fodder. So we've been having a lot to discuss as I go back and forth here. Oh, I forgot to de-summon my demons. I probably should. I have ridiculous amount of magnetite, but even so, I want to get even more ridiculous amount of magnetite. So I'm gonna de-summon these guys real quick so that, you know, I might want to go to, I don't know, I might want to go to the other area and do a couple things. I might want to wander around a little bit, so it would make sense. Yeah, but it seemed like walking around in other areas does not advance time in that area with the mines. I'm not too sure.
This seems like that might be the case, so I'm worried that, like, it'd be great if I could go to the other areas, like go back to the casino or whatever, go to the cathedral, and have that count towards time in the mine, but it seems like it might not. I'm really not too sure. I suppose we may as well just, well, I mean, I was going to do it anyway, so we may as well just do it and then see. We can check. You know, obviously we can check that. Why should that matter? Why are they still watching it? Why should that matter? Like, let me ask you this. How, Asian Waste, how are you saying that how do you think I'm saying that it matters? Wait, or we're in floor 2. People watch stuff they don't really like if it's cheap and available, though. Yeah. But yeah, that, I know. I'm still studying my kanji, and I'm a little bit more familiar with both of those now, both of those shins. So like that's like mostly ma and shin that's read. True, masugu. And then the other one, shin, is more like new. And I actually don't know how else that's read. You have no idea? I mean, I explained it. Do you want me to... Okay. I'm saying that it matters in... Just to reiterate, I'm saying it matters insofar as the fact that there are differences. Like, there's differences between watching things on your TV and watching things on your computer streaming. There's a difference in the way the media is consumed, the format, you know? Like, even between... And you gotta remember, even between, like, network TV and cable, there's a difference in that format. And that difference had, you know, different... There was that... The differences led to differences in the type of media that was put on those platforms, right? So the difference between, like, network TV and cable TV back in the day, that difference, the difference between TV now and Netflix is the same kind of difference in that it's a different format. And insofar as that it's a different format, it will affect it. And you see that in terms of, in other words, it's cultural. That's what I'm saying. It's cultural relevance. The difference between those things has cultural relevance. So you see that in terms of, for example, the massive popularity now these days of binge-style content is because that is due in large part because of the way people consume it, because of the nature of the medium. It makes much, much less sense. There's a reason why episodic stuff was so popular back in the day when people had to watch scheduled TV versus how they consume it now. You know, there's a reason why now everything is like gone over to like binge type stuff. It's because of Netflix. That's how it's relevant. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Atadashi. Oh, right, Atadashi. Yes, right, Atadashi. Right, I knew that. I forgot. You're right. You're right, Sakana Cow. Yes. I'm still, you know, I'm still working on it. Oh man, we're level. This has been some good grinding. We're level 29 now. I mean, the sloth dungeon is annoying with this mechanic for sure. I get why people don't like it, but the grinding has been useful. I don't hate it. I think the concept. Honestly, I kind of like the concept of the sloth dungeon. It's cute. The fact that you have to wait for them all to dig stuff out. It probably was a better way to do it, but I still kind of like it a little bit. Fuck binge model. I definitely get that negativity towards it as well, because like I'm a little bit sick of it too. Vocab. Flip. If I watch Family Guy on DVD, if I join in the water cooler conversation next day about how does it matter how it watched. It doesn't matter in that sense. It doesn't matter at all. Asian Waste doesn't matter. Like towards that example at all. It makes zero difference. How does my reception of the show change if I watch the TV, DVD, or movie file? It doesn't. It makes zero difference in that respect. It makes zero difference. Huh? I don't. What are we even arguing about? Get it. You brought up comedy as a whole does not have societal relevance anymore. I didn't say it doesn't. What I said was I think that they're less relevant than they used to be. I mean, I might have said something like that and walked it back immediately because that's the way it's just, you know, it's a fun way to talk where, you know, you hyperbolize. But what I really meant was, and I tried to make this clear, you know, it's never that things have zero relevance. Things don't go from having big relevance to zero. If you say something like that, you're always wrong. Extreme statements are the purpose of them is for laughs. You shouldn't take them literally. What I meant was that they're clearly the relevance is declining. And I think that we all have to, I don't see how we're not on the same page there. I'm sure you have to think that too. Like, it's just obvious. It would seem. I would think. I don't know. Maybe some people disagree. Maybe you disagree with that. You disagree with TV? Yeah, but that's because you're including Netflix. You're including all streaming services, right? Because even Netflix itself is declining in relevance because of all the other streaming services. Like, Netflix used to be everything. So you're saying all stream. You're using TV to mean all streaming services. I mean, streaming services. I mean, yeah, okay. But then TVs and movie. Does TV mean movies too? Because you can watch movies on your TV. Like, I don't get it. Like, whatever. Like, movies are TV. TV is Netflix. Netflix is Hulu. Hulu's TV, and it's radio as well. Right? The format doesn't matter because all this media you consume. Like, a movie can be shown on TV, so movies and TV are the same, right? No, I mean, no, yeah, if you include streaming services, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, even if you include all streaming services, I think TV shows, that's like half-hour or hour style formats of programs to watch, even that's less relevant because, like, again, just because of streaming, because of like live the massively rising style of self-made content, like, even that's less relevant. Doesn't matter. Even if you use the word TV to mean everything, it's still less relevant for sure. Just because of like stuff like YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Absolutely. You see TV versus movies economy being that TV is shorter episodes. Yeah, I mean, it's useful to have that distinction. I don't think it makes much sense to just pretend like TV and movies is the same thing. Even though TV shows could technically be watched on a movie screen, and movies could be technically, and often are, watched on TV, like a lot. Movies are watched on TV screens all the time. And TV and movies are watched on computer screens and are on our phones. Like, all of this stuff is like watched on people's phones much more often than not than it used to be. But TV shows, whatever. TV shows the format. Talk about the format, not just simply whatever. It's all getting confusing. You guys don't know what I'm talking. I think I'm saying things that make sense. Asian Wasted got a lot of opinions. Asian Wasted got a lot of opinions. Man, oh yeah. I got well, okay, I'm gonna stop the timer. I don't have to cut the conversation off immediately, but I can't continue to. I'm gonna do a safety save just in case, like, did I actually save? No, I did save, right? Yeah. Well, since I'm kind of distracted, let's just do a safety save to make sure I saved, huh? Always a good idea. Oh yeah, because level 29 is in there. Dude, we went from level 24 to 25 to 29 in less the last 5 hours. That is pretty good. They're still watching them. No, that's not the point. The point is that the people are watching that stuff less. That's the point. The point, nobody's denying the fact that people are still watching them, but they're doing it less so. They aren't? You're saying the people watch TV shows the same amount as they did in the 80s and 90s? No way. That cannot be true. The numbers, you can't say that because there's no way you could know. You can't possibly, streaming services don't release the numbers. They don't release the numbers. Netflix definitely doesn't. So you cannot claim that. There's no way for you to even know that. Right? Nobody actually knows if that's the case or not. You'd have to add up the numbers of all streaming services. And like all those ratings and like average it all out. I don't like watching that stuff that way. So now you space out your watching of TV series regardless. Okay, I mean, if you think so, I just I don't know. It just doesn't seem that way. Like that, I did. It doesn't seem. It doesn't seem Hollywood Reporter. It doesn't seem like that can possibly be the case. That shows are still the bare feast in streaming ratings. That's just one show. What's Hulu series? Does it talk about all? Where in here does it have stats for like every show and then averages it all out? Billions of people. It can be billions of people for like this show and this show and this show, and they can like have all that. But there's no way. Minutes, billion. It just says billion minutes viewed. There's no. It just absolutely can't be possible that with all the attention, especially with like kids and all the attention that like TikTok and stream. I mean, are you counting like all Twitch TV shows as TV shows? Are you counting like all YouTube shows as TV shows? There's no way. That stuff steals way too much attention. There's no way that people could be watching conventional TV shows as much as they used to be back when there was no streaming services. That just logically makes no sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Forget about like, and look, these are incomplete numbers. This doesn't mean that. This isn't telling us the total numbers of like what all shows are, how much shows are actually watched compared to how it was like in different decades. We don't have those numbers. Accessibility. Oh, you think people spend more? You're saying that people just consume more. It's possible because people are consuming more media in general. Your point is that even though all this attention is stolen away by these new media, people are watching the old media just as much because now they're binging more of it than they used to because now they can sit around and spend 10 hours a day just watching shows. But they could have done that with their TV before. They could have done that with cable. I don't know. A global audience. But that's irrelevant because that it's not about global audience. Like you can make the argument global or not, you know? You could talk, but like globally in the 90s people didn't have YouTube to watch and now they do. So unless you're saying that people just consume more media in general, which is possible, but I'm a little skeptical. Now everyone can watch. Everyone could watch before. Like everybody in China could watch Chinese shows. If they were watching Chinese TV shows before, the argument's not about. It's not about like that American media is being. Well, I mean, it kind of was, but from a like, but in terms of like, you know, traditional media versus streaming media, the argument is not about like does China watch American shows versus Chinese shows. Before they were watching Chinese shows, maybe now they're watching a few more American shows and other multicultural stuff, but they're still using more of their time to watch different forms of media than they used to be. So that has to take up, and that takes up a lot of time. And people spend a lot of time on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter, or well, Twitter is not Twitter, but Twitch. So there's no way that people could be watching as many TV shows and movie and traditional media as they used to be. There's no way. International has nothing to do with it because the argument holds true, just as true in every other country. Like China, there's no way China couldn't be watching as many TV shows and movies as they used to be. Well, I don't know. Like maybe China, everything is like so much more. Maybe they don't have access to as many streaming services there because of like government limitations. I don't know that, but I'm sure they watch a ton of US produced Netflix stuff, even with like the restrictions. Well, that being the case, they probably also watch tons of streaming services, which is not traditional media. And the point is just simply, there's no way people watch as much traditional media as they used to when the new media clearly takes up tons of people's time. There's more viewership today than when they were 30 years ago. It's possible for that to be the case. Yeah, but that doesn't mean
if you take everybody and average it out, there's not more people to be watching it like overall. So that has to take away from other shows. We're talking about all shows in general. Even if one show has more people watching it than ever did before, that's still taking eyes off of the other shows. So it averages out anyway. Like there aren't just, people don't have more hours in the day to watch things, you know. Maybe there are more people. I guess there might be more. A point in your favor is just the fact there could just be more people in the world. There could just be more people in the world now. Well, I mean, we have the declining birth rates. No, but even with the declining birth rates, population has still been going up and up and up. So that actually is a point in your favor. Because you could say, well, more people, these shows are being consumed by more people, and like traditional media, like there's just more people to watch more shows. So like the viewership hasn't necessarily declined. There's more room for more shows or something like that, which probably is true to a certain extent. I still think that traditional media, the overall viewership has to have declined. There's definitely a lot of movies. Yeah, and people can watch a lot of old movies too. But that's aside the point. It's not, the argument is nothing. We're not arguing about like American media in particular specifically. You know, I mean, not all the stuff on Netflix is even American. You know, not all the stuff on TV is even American. That's not the point. It's not about like, you know. What are you observing as people watching more shows, as in more titles at a time? That could be the case. That probably is the case, yeah. Because people just had to work. Maybe people just had to work harder back then. They have more time to watch shows now. Point is, y'all lame. Salutations. Well, I still think, I mean, with all the evidence in front, I still think there's no way that modern media is on, like, traditional media is on the decline. I'm not changing my mind on that. There's no way it's not. It's hard to measure, though, because you can't, we just simply, number one, we don't have all the data. We can't get it. The streaming services have it. And number two, even if we had it, it's hard to actually put all that together. It's a lot of work to like average that out. So it's hard to know. It's very difficult to know whether that's the case, but there's no way. Traditional media had to be way more consumed in the 80s and 90s than now. I can't change my mind on that. I just can't. This doesn't seem like that could be the case. But we'll just have to agree to disagree. Right, Asian Waste? Such to agree, disagree. We're just going to have to Asian Waste to disagree, right? I'm sensing that dinner is not quite ready yet. Doesn't make sense to me. More homeschool people. More people casually watching in their house. I would say that more people casually have a TV in their house. Well, I mean, even the 80s, like, it was normal for people to have two TVs in their house. That was even a joke in Back to the Future about it. Back to the Future, yeah. A lot of those mid-budget movies. Movies in particular are on the decline. There's no, I can't, like, Asian Waste definitely agrees with me that movies are on a big decline. There's no, like, it's obvious. Like, the strike was such, like, a blow. Like, the quality of movies, most people think it's way down. Most people don't want to go. I mean, people streaming movies in their homes is probably way up, but people watching them in general, there's no way it's not way down. Movies are, like, not doing good. Lots of indie stuff. More than ever. Maybe. Because it's a lot easier to make stuff. But it's also a lot easier for it to get lost in the shuffle. That's the case with like games on Steam as well. Right. More people making more stuff means more likely to get lost in the shuffle. Doesn't mean your stuff is going to get publicized. Quite the opposite. And like Netflix used to like take more chances on like popular stuff. Back when Netflix had all the power, you might have been the lucky one to get, picked up by Netflix and like promoted, and you could your little thing could get turned into like a huge thing. But that's less likely these days. I mean, all these streaming services need to have unique content, but any one individual streaming service doesn't have all the eyes anymore. So it's like everything's much more fractured now. It's not there's not that like one platform. Like Netflix used to be the Johnny Carson of streaming services, where there was like one place to go where everybody would be watching. But we don't really, it's definitely not that. I mean, it's still big, but it's much more fractured now, obviously. Like, I don't know, maybe Amazon is bigger than Netflix now in terms of streaming. I don't know. But it's way more fractured now. There's no Johnny Carsons anymore of streaming service. There's not one place to go where you can just make it big necessarily. So it seems like it's got to be harder, right, Legionary Shark? You know what? Actually, I think dinner is ready. I should get going. Asian Waste. I'm gonna take a break. Fracturing is bad. Oh, finally Asian Waste agreed with me on something. Asian Waste, I love you. Hope you still love me. I can't help it. I have to have my opinions. I try to update my opinions into new, better opinions, but it's not, I updated a little bit on the sitcom thing. You know what? You got me to update a little bit on that. I didn't realize that there is definitely a different definition on that, but beyond that, Asian Waste still loves me. I'm just gonna go on break. I'm gonna try to be back in like a half hour to 40 minutes, and you guys can enjoy the joy of song requests in that time. You guys like song requests, right? And I'll be back, and we're gonna play this damn game all night. Still haven't finished the sloth dungeon, but we're a lot closer now. Okay, good. Asian Waste is happy. Good. I love you, Asian Waste. I'm sorry, I gotta cut it off now. I gotta get going. But feel free to continue to debate among yourselves. Nobody murder anybody, and nobody go on any swearing fits. But feel free to have your discussions. I need to go here. I'll try not to be gone for like more than 40 minutes, shall we say? And then we're gonna do big SMT streaming tonight. So I'll see you guys soon. Song requests are open. You can feel free to put songs that you want, but please don't put any song requests in that will get the stream muted. Retro music would be best. All right, see you soon. The music. The music is good. Let's get the lights ready. The cider is back. He's returned. I will review the chat log. The creepy chat log with the creepy music. Well, it's not really creepy, it's more mysterious. Oh, talking about movies. Oh yeah, I like that Heron movie. I want to see that Godzilla as well. Oh yeah, I heard that Scorsese movie is good as well. Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo was good. That's from like 7 or 8 years ago. I think I would have hated the D&D movie. Everyone seems to like that one. That seems like one I wouldn't like. But maybe I'll give it a chance someday. No more Tarantinos. Alright, I've caught up. What? Gran Turismo? You're talking about the, oh, you're not talking about the, Clint Eastwood movie then. Okay, I thought you were talking about the Clint Eastwood movie. That was called Gran Turismo, right? Oh, Gran Torino. I was thinking Gran Torino, yeah. Okay, Gran Turismo? Oh, the one based on the movie? Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way I would like, no way I want to see that. Yeah, that's kind of very, very funny. The trailer looked terrible. It was actually hilarious. I thought so. That's good music, man. That's from Eye of the Beholder, the DOS version. I would not mind replaying that game.